We all want to get better. We all want to grow. But one thing we got to realize is that growth doesn't come from you avoiding mistakes. It just really comes from you not repeating the same steps and learning from them fast enough that they don't keep reoccurring in your life before you solve it. But most people don't have like a mistake problem in life. They have a problem like reflecting on the mistakes and then adapting to it. Because we got to realize that mistakes are required. Like there's no clean path to anything meaningful in life. And if Michael Jordan has a quote, I've succeeded because I failed too many times. Or you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Meaning you gotta risk failure in order for you to succeed. You gotta risk making mistakes in order for you to learn from it and choose the right door to go into next time. That's all mistakes are. Mistakes are as you closing off doors until you narrow in on the right one. You know? And mistakes are part of the process. They're part of the process. And if you're not really making mistakes, you're either not being honest with yourself or you're just thinking too small. Your goals are too small. You're doing things that really don't require you to actually risk anything, which is cool if you want that to be yourself. But we got to understand mistakes. There's lessons that you learn in mistakes. Nothing is bad. There's good and good. The good is comes from the wins, and there's good coming from the learning lessons in the quote unquote losses. Now, repeating mistakes is where it gets tricky. That's what you want to try to avoid, repeating the same mistakes, because the same behavior yields the same outcomes. You know, if you have the same habits, you're going to have the same body. If you have the same mindset you always have, you're going to have the same life, and nothing's going to change. So you can't just keep doing the same things and repeating it. At some point in time, you're going to have to adjust because life doesn't tell you when to adjust. Life is not going to care. Life just gives you more of what you want for yourself, and that includes good or bad. And everything is interconnected. You know what I mean? Just like how you're in the gym. If you're in the gym and you got bad form, what is that going to lead to? Injury. You know what I mean? It's not going to tell you, oh, fix your form so you don't injure yourself. No, it's just going to let you keep doing it until you injure yourself, till you snap some shit. You know what I mean? If you're in the gym ego lifting, that's going to lead to you plateauing in the gym. You're going to stay the same weight over and over because you're just going through the motions, going through the motions. And then if you just overly work out, just keep working out, what's that going to lead to? You burning out. So the gym, the gym don't care either. Everything's interconnected. It don't look the same on the outside, but it's the same process on the inside internally. And just like how life don't care about you making mistakes, it's going to give you more what you want for yourself. The gym is the same way. It's just going to give you more what you want for yourself. And then we can't lie to ourselves. A lot of people also have comfort in repeating the mistakes. And it's like somebody in an abusive relationship. Even though they probably want to leave and they are probably scared, but there's also a level of comfort in that situation. There's a little bit of familiarity. You know what I mean? And like I said, the universe gives you more of what you want for yourself. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad because it's just about the pattern of things. It just magnifies and multiplies more things that you see for yourself. The things that you're aware of, the things that you expect in your life is going to give you more of that. So don't repeat the same mistakes. You're going to have to adjust because life is not going to adjust for you. Life is not changing. So if life is not changing, what's the only differentiating factor for you to change? Yourself, your state of thinking. You know what I mean? New habits. So the one way we can probably fix this, not probably, the one way we can fix this is when you got to detach from your ego. A lot of us don't want to be wrong. And that's a lot of times that's why we repeat the same mistakes because we're so steadfast and so kind of, you can say, stubborn that we think this is right. It shows us 1,000 different ways how it's not right, but we want to believe in ourselves so bad that we don't want to admit when we're wrong because we don't want to feel like we let ourselves down if we with ourselves 24/7. But you gotta detach from your ego. You know what I mean? You gotta look at things from outside of yourself. If you're too far into yourself, as you can see, if you experience in your life, I know I experienced in my life, nothing is truly going to change. You're going to get the same result over and over and over and over again. Then another way you can fix it is slowing down, because usually when you're repeating mistakes, it's because it's a habit, and all a habit is something subconscious. It's something that's natural, something that you did so much, or something that you did with emotion that it's kind of embedded in your DNA. So if you're doing something so fast without thinking, You risk doing that same thing again, repeating it because it's second nature. It's all it's all your body knows. But if you slow down your thinking and you're literally in the present moment and you're going from one thing to the next and you're doing that deliberately, then you can catch, oh, okay, this is where I messed up. This is where I messed up. And then when you do that, you fix patterns in your life. Because you got to think about it. If something happens too often, it's not random. It's not random. There's a pattern in your life that you're just addicted to. Good or bad, you're addicted to it. So check your ego. You know what I mean? We all gonna be wrong sometimes. Slow down your thinking, because if you're going too fast, you risk just doing the same shit over and over again, because at this point it's second nature. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, watch for patterns, because if something's happening too often, it's not random. You can't keep blaming coincidences if something has happened all the time, or if the same result is happening in 1,000 different ways. At some point in time, you're gonna have to look within and adjust yourself.